Okay, sit yourself onto your lift and come into a good cross-legged position. Just have a little wriggle about. Make sure that you're sitting evenly. Hold onto your knees and lift up into the chest. Elevate your heart area upwards and draw your shoulders down away from your ears. Fill your lungs from the bottom to the top. Fill them from the bottom to the top and filling them evenly. Fill your lungs from the bottom to the top and empty them from the top to the bottom. Breathing in through the nose if you can, out through the nose. After sitting for a little while, observe whether you are actually level. Just adjust if you feel that you're not. Elevate the heart area upwards, lengthening the shoulders down away from your ears. Release your hands, bring your hands into Namaste. Press the palms firmly together, lengthen from your armpits into your elbows. And with an exhalation, allow your eyes to gently close. Focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Again, filling the lungs from the bottom to the top and emptying them from the top to the bottom. Just letting the breath be gentle but conscious and deep. Gently bring your chin down to meet your chest, lifting your chest up to meet your chin. Just spend a moment to seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude. Something or someone or somewhere. Hold on to that feeling of abundance in the heart area as you release the backs of your hands down towards your knee. Palms facing upwards, bring the tips of the index fingers together with the tips of the thumbs. Just a gesture of wisdom, physical intelligence and peacefulness that we can carry into our practice as an objective, an intention. Raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Hold onto your knees, lift up into your chest. Again, just adjusting if you need to, lift up into the chest and turn to the right side, just observing how your body responds to the turn. Observe that today it may feel different to how it felt yesterday. Just acknowledge how the body feels when you move into the poses. If there are areas of discomfort, push your out breath into those regions. If you identify areas of discomfort, then also aim to identify areas of freedom, so that the perception of the initial resistance changes. Come back to the center, hold onto your knees, lift up into your chest, take a deep inhalation, and then turn to the left. Digging the backhand into the floor, turning the abdomen, just observing how it feels on this side. Does the resistance feel the same? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Just observe. Be conscious of the body's response to each part of the practice. And then come back to the center. Just come off your lift and sit back on your heels. Sit back on your heels and spend a moment just to let the shins connect into the floor. Press the shin bones into the shin skin and lift up into the heart area. Elevate the heart area to the ceiling, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Just feel that you are planted on the mat. Lift up into your chest and then keep the head lifted. Keep the arms extending and then come forwards. Keeping the seat bones down on the heels, wriggling into the hips. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Listen to the breath. Just observe how the body feels this morning. Listen to the breath. Extend into your arms. Hit the seat bones down on the heels. Put a block underneath your head if it doesn't feel right to have your head on the floor. Just listen to the inhalation and the exhalation. So find your way into the pose. I'm purposely not speaking as much as normal so that you can listen to the body. Feel that there's evenness of action. So in the legs and in the arms and in the chest. Evenness of action. Put your hands underneath your shoulders and then push yourself up into a seated position. Just sitting back on your heels, elevating the heart area upwards. Just breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. pressing the shins into the floor. So just come up onto all fours. If you're not doing dog down, then you can do the cat and the cow pose. So the cat, this is the cat, and then you can do the cow. So you can do that instead of dog down, or you can do supta konasana instead of dog down, or you can do dandasana instead of dog down. Just come up into whichever pose you were working on, and focus on the feeling of the pose. Focus on evenness of action, remembering to activate the legs, the kneecaps, turning the legs, the fronts of the thighs inwards, the backs of the thighs outwards. Look, picking up the seat bones away from the backs of the thighs. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Whichever pose you are doing, do it with consciousness of feeling, observing how it feels for the physical body. Observing that there is evenness of action between the legs and the arms and the spine and the breath. Okay, step your feet forwards, come up into the standing position, get a couple of blocks for your hands. And then bring your feet as wide apart as your mat. Have your feet as wide apart as the mat, have the toes in line with each other. Have the heels on the edge of the mat. Feel that they're there. Have the little toes on the edge of the mat. So feel that they are in place. Tighten the kneecaps, turn the fronts of the thighs inwards, lift up into the chest. Keep the head lifted as you come forwards, hinging at the hips. Bring the blocks underneath your hands. Coming into half uttanasana. Tightening the kneecaps evenly. Lifting the legs evenly. Lifting the seat bones evenly. Lifting into the chest evenly. So the priority here is straight legs. Tighten those kneecaps. Lift the seat bones, project the chin and the chest forwards. If you can go down lower, then do, but not at the expense of losing extension. Keep the legs straight, keep the chest extended. Just feel that internal lift evenly on both legs. If you can reach down to the floor, then do, but again, keep the extension of the legs with priority. Don't bend your knees. I can see some knees bending, so if you bend your knees to reach the floor, even just a little, then go back to the blocks. Listen to the breath. Keep those kneecaps tightened. Can you lift the kneecaps? That's it. Lift the seat bones. Just feel how you bring energy into the body through extension. Distribute your energy. We activate the muscles, and that activation helps the lymphatic system circulate. It helps blood pump, especially from the legs up to the heart area, So breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, filling the lungs with the energy of the universe. Okay, bring your hands into your hips, bend your knees on the way up if you need to, and then come up into Tadasana. Have the inner edge of the feet together, lift up into the chest. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Just feel how you've woken your body up a little. My body feels quite tired this morning. I went on quite an energetic bike ride yesterday, and my body is quite tired, maybe a little stiff as a result. And so it feels a little more alive after our limbering poses. So how does the body feel right now? Bring your arms out nice and wide in towards your chest, and then step or jump your feet apart. Turn your left toes in, your right leg and foot all the way out. And then come down. Reach down to the shin, look up to the top arm. Just feel where the body is in 3 dimensions. Ensuring that the feet are in the right place, that the heel of the right foot is in line with the instep or the toes of the left foot. Just feel that that is the case. If not, then move the front foot. Turn the front leg from the big toe side to the little toe side. Squeeze the front leg buttock bone forwards, draw the abdomen up to the ceiling. Look up, breathe in and out through the nose. Observe how that clears the sinuses. Reach up to the top arm rather than collapsing down to the bottom. Reach up with the top arm, come back to the centre. Turn the right toes in, the left leg and foot all the way out. Just being sure that that heel of the left foot is in line with the instep or the toes of the back foot, never the heel. Start to turn this leg from the big toe side to the little toe side. Lengthen out that left side of the torso as you reach down. Find the shin and look up. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Just reach in where you can reach. Don't slide down to the foot unless you can keep the rest of the body in line. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And then come back to the centre, bring your feet parallel, and then step or jump your feet back together, coming back into Tadasana. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Okay, bring your feet hip width apart. If you know that you can't reach your toes, then you can get yourself a belt and you hook the belt into the big toes. So you hook the big toes into the belt, and then when you come forwards just a little bit, keeping the legs straight, keeping the back straight, and you hold onto the belt. If you've got a bad back and you know that you're not going to come all the way down, then use the belt. So this can be quite strong for a bad back. So if you've got a bad back, just come into this with caution, or use the belt and just come forwards a little bit, just so that you're having a bit of a tug of war with your big toes. Otherwise, you can come into the pose with the arms outstretched. I think that is quite strong for your back. It feels quite strong in the lumbar. So I think it's always a bit safer to come into the pose with the hands on the hips, winging the elbows towards each other behind you. Turn your toes inwards. Have the heels wider apart than the big toes. Tighten your kneecaps and consciously turn the fronts of the thighs inwards so that the backs of the thighs broaden outwards. That gives you space in the hips. Lift up into the heart area and then come forwards, lengthening forwards, lengthening the chest forwards. Now at this stage, you reach down and see if you can get hold of the big toe with the index finger and the middle finger underneath the big toe, and then the thumb around the outside of the big toe. If at this stage you can't reach, then go for the belt. Keep the legs straight, so straighten the legs, so tight. Keep the legs straight rather than bending them to find the pose. Lift the seat bones, project the chin and the chest forward, stamp the big toe into the floor and try and rip it out of the floor at the same time. So this first stage of padangusthasana. We try and just elongate the legs, lifting the hips away from the backs of the thighs and the hips away from the heels, projecting the chin and the chest forwards. But get those legs straight, get those legs to straighten, tighten the kneecaps, lift the fronts of the thighs upwards, lift the kneecaps towards the fronts of the thighs, towards the backs of the knees. Press the fronts of the legs through to the backs of the legs and project the chin and the chest forwards. Have a tug of war with your toes. Now, if there's any reason why you're kind of not lowering your head today, then just stay at this stage. This is plenty to work on getting those legs straight, projecting the chin and the chest forwards. If you can straighten your legs, however, you can bend your elbows out to the side, being cautious if you've got back problems, and draw the torso through space between the legs, but keeping the back straight, keeping the head lifted as you come down. So keeping the body lifting in the legs, extending in the spine. So the priority is straight legs. I can see bent knees. So if you bend your knees to come down, you've lost the pose. So come back to the first stage, that's it, with straight legs, and then working to extend the spine away. Okay, release your toes, bring your hands onto the floor so you're in half uttanasana. And then bring your hands into your hips, bend your knees, and then come up into a standing position. Just be in tadasana, just observing how the body is waking up with each pose. Just listen to the breath. Focusing on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. And then you just come down onto your knees, sit back on your heels, have the big toes together, your knees apart, and then just feel that you can let the legs recover. by sitting back on your heels. Elevating the heart area upwards, and then coming forwards, lengthening forwards, spreading the fingers, spreading the palms. Letting the head down or put a block under your head and stretch forwards into virasana. So maybe you can hear the gentle drizzle from outside landing on the roof. So some welcome rain. Just observing the world around us and how our lives are a part of that universe of action. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, push yourself up into a seated position. Just observe your energy. Observe the energy of the breath of the physical body. And then come down onto your back into supta konasana. So just letting your back rest into the floor. Have blocks on the outsides of your thighs if you need them. Otherwise, just use the floor just to open up the hips. Rest your hands on your lower ribs and observe the breath from the outside. As you inhale, fill the lungs from the bottom to the top. As you exhale, empty your lungs from the top to the bottom. Just let the body yield to gravity for a moment or two. Just listening to the breath. Stretch your arms up, hook the thumbs together, and then consciously lengthen your arms along the floor. If there's stiffness in your shoulders, then use a block underneath your hands. Otherwise, lengthen out the side ribs by having the thumbs hooked together, splaying the hands, trying to force the hands apart. Lengthening into the spine. Swap the interlock of the thumbs. Keep splaying the palms. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. And then release your arms, rest your hands on your lower ribs. Just resting into the floor, keeping the legs relatively passive, just allowing them to release into the floor. And then very gently draw your knees together, have the knees together and the feet apart, just resting out the hips. And then just straighten yourself out in a good straight line right down the center of the mat. And then lengthen your arms along the floor, palms facing each other, like you're doing urdhva along the floor. So have the inner edge of the feet together, have the thighs turning inwards, tightening the kneecaps, lengthening from the heels into the hands. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And then release your arms, just rest your arms at the sides of the body. Let the legs rest into the floor for a moment. Just let the legs rest into the floor. Okay, we're going to do urdhva, prasarita, padasana. You might want a belt for your hands. Makes it a little bit easier. So you hold the belt between your hands, have the hands about shoulder width apart, and then stretch your arms over your head, pulling firmly on the belt, and then lengthen down into the heels. Now in a moment we're going to raise the legs up. If you've got a bad back, you bend the knees first. So you bend your knees and then stretch your legs up to 12 o'clock, pulling firmly on the belt. So bring the legs up, pulling firmly on the belt, lengthening the legs to the ceiling, turning the fronts of the thighs inwards, pushing from the hips into the heels, pulling your toes down to the floor. Activating your legs like you're doing padasana. Pulling firmly on the belt to lengthen from the hips into the armpits, into the hands. And then bend your knees and then bring the feet back down to the floor. And then lengthen your legs along the floor. Keep holding onto the belt. Now, if you don't have a bad back, you can raise the legs straight and then you bring the legs back down straight. Now that feels, I've got a kind of a slightly dodgy lower back and it feels okay to do that, but I'm not going to tempt it. I'm not going to tempt fate. So I'm going to stick with bent knees. But you can raise your legs up straight and then bring them down straight if you prefer. So, if you're protecting your back, which of course we all should do, then bend your knees and then stretch the legs up, or bring the legs up straight if you feel confident with your back. Lift legs up to the ceiling, pull on the belt. So pulling firmly on that belt gives you deeper consciousness of the side ribs, of the sides of the torso. So lengthen from the hips into the heels, from the hips into the armpits, into the elbows, the wrists, the palms. Just extending the upper body so you can lengthen the lower body. So it's like dandasana, isn't it? Urdhva dandasana. Okay, and then bend your knees, bring the legs down straight, otherwise bend your knees, bring your feet back to the floor, and then release your hands, and then just lengthen yourself along the floor. Let the body rest into the floor for a moment. Just listen to the sound of the inhalation and the sound of the exhalation. Long, slow, deep, deliberate breaths. And then just roll yourself onto your front and just come up onto your elbows. So we're going to do half bhekasana, half the half frog pose. Just come up onto your elbows and encourage the abdomen to draw forwards, lifting the head, and then lengthen into the legs. Have the toes touching and lengthen into the toes. Lift up into the chest. Now, if you've got bad knees, you might just want to do this stage, and that's fine. Just bring the palms onto the floor, just lifting the chest, lifting the head. If you want to go further, then you bend up the right knee, reach back for the right knee, and then you slide the heel along the outside of the hip. You don't bring the leg out away from the hip. So you bring the inner heel along the outside of the thigh. So you press it down alongside it, so you get a stretch of the quads. If you can, you turn the palm so that the fingers are in the same direction as the toes, pointing the elbow up to the ceiling, drawing that foot down towards the floor, just respecting your knees, respecting the physical body. And then gently release. Just come back into this crocodile halfway pose. And then if you're doing half bhekasana, lift up the toes of the left foot, get hold of the top of the foot, bring that foot along the outside of the hip. So the inner heel slides across the outside of the hip. If you can turn the palm around, then do lift the chest. Try and keep the chest lifted evenly. Quite difficult, but try and aim for that. So lengthening from the hip into the knee. Okay, and then gently release. Just come back into crocodile. Just reset the legs. And one more time, we'll do the same on both sides. So bend up the right leg, reach back, bring the foot down alongside the hip. Keep the chest lifted, keep the chest pointing forwards, sliding that heel along the outside of the hip. Just respecting the body. Don't push the foot further than it's capable of going. Come back to the center. And then bend up the left leg. And then lengthen that leg down. Keeping the chest lifted. And then gently release. Just make a little pillow for your head. One hand on top of the other. And then rest the forehead down on the backs of the hands. It's a little back bending action, but it's a really good stretch for the quads. So if your legs are tired, it's a good way of bringing energy back into the body. And then lift your head, push your hands into the floor underneath your shoulders, and then sit yourself back down onto your heels. Have your big toes together, your knees apart, and then just come forwards into Adho Mukha Virasana, just reversing the back bending action, lengthening out the spine. Keep the tailbone turning in, down towards the heels. Just breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. And then bring your hands underneath your shoulders, push yourself up into a seated position, and then sit yourself in cross legs. You can sit on a lift if you need to. Just come into cross legs and then hold on to your knees. Hold on to your knees, lift up into the chest, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the right side, digging the back hand into the floor so that you stay on the front edge of the seat bones. Drawing the abdomen across, the ribs across, the shoulders across. Just keep the head neutral, just looking forwards rather than over the shoulder. So we've quietly opened up the energy of the tired body to bring energy through the limbs. Come back to the center, hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest. Just observe how the physical body feels more awake, how it feels more alive, how we've stretched every muscle. Let's come back to the center. So come right back to come round to the left side. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. So yoga is a really good full body exercise regime. It helps the lymphatic fluid circulate around the body, which is believed to support the immune system. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. It's feeling that even though this feels like it's principally spinal, you can feel the legs into the floor. You can feel the shoulders and the arms. And draw your attention universally throughout the physical body. And then gently come back to the center. Okay, we're going to finish on our front rather than on our back. Although if it doesn't feel comfortable to lay on your front for any period of time, then do normal shavasana. Otherwise, you're just going to create a little pillow for your hands with your pillow for your head with your hands. Lengthen the elbows away, and then rest your forehead onto the backs of the hands. And then just let the body release into the floor. So this can be nice for a stiff back. Just listen to the body. Focus on inhalations and exhalations. Allowing the body to Press into the floor, allowing there to be a gentle pressure on the forehead. Pressing the head into the hands into the head, just gently applying that pressure. Quietening the brain. Collecting your energy, observing how your physical body has changed. The energy in the physical body has changed, how the skin is more alive with blood flow, almost tingling against the air. Raise your head, bring your hands underneath your shoulders, push yourself up into just sitting back onto your knees, sitting back into virasana for a moment. Just observing how your energy has changed through our sequence of relatively gentle poses. And then come into cross legs with your hands in Namaste. Just a final spinal lift. Drawing your breath in through your nose down into the abdomen. Be conscious of the energy that you've released through your practice this morning, that good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the extensions and the forward bends and the twists and the reclining poses bring to the body and to the mind. The warmth they bring to the skin. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Spend a moment to acknowledge the positive energy you've created around the heart area. And then send some of that positive energy out into the world. And then gently release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. Connecting the tip of the index finger with the tip of the thumb, just a gesture of wisdom, physical intelligence and peacefulness that you can carry into your day as an intention. Gently raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. So hopefully you feel like you've really given yourself a good old stretch and you've given yourself some good energy to put into your day. So thank you very much for joining me.